Today we're diving into something really fascinating, the celebration of Ramadan in Britain. It's this incredible story of how an ancient tradition completely transforms and adapts in a modern, super multicultural country. Okay, first things first, let's talk numbers. We're talking about over 4 million Muslims in Britain. So right away, you know this isn't just some small religious observance. Nope, Ramadan is a massive cultural event here. It literally shapes entire communities and changes the vibe of cities all over the country, from London to Manchester and beyond. So, that's the big question, right? What happens when you take this ancient, holy month and drop it right into a modern, super diverse, fast-paced nation? Well, what you get is a really amazing story about culture, community, and how they blend together. So, let's jump in. Our first stop is looking at how Ramadan has become, part of the furniture in British society. People even call it a very British Ramadan. And it's all about connection, and not just within the Muslim community, but way, way beyond it. So, you'll hear this phrase everywhere, Ramadan Kareem. It basically means have a generous Ramadan. But what's so cool is that it's not just for Muslims anymore. It's totally normal to hear it from non-Muslim coworkers, your neighbors, pretty much anyone. It just shows how much cultural awareness has grown. And this isn't just a small thing, it's everywhere. You walk into a big supermarket like Tesco and boom, there are signs up. At work, you'll probably get an email explaining what Ramadan is all about, just so everyone can be supportive of their colleagues who are fasting. It really builds this amazing sense of, we're all in this together. And all that connection and community spirit, well, it leads us right to one of the best and most visible parts of Ramadan in the UK, breaking the fast. It's called Iftar. Britain is really leading the way with this thing called open Iftar. The idea is so simple, but it's brilliant. You host these huge public meals to break the fast, and you invite everyone. It doesn't matter what your faith is, where you're from, you just come, share a meal, and talk. It's all about breaking down barriers. And these aren't small gatherings in a community hall. No way. We're talking about massive events in some of the most famous spots in the entire country. I mean, can you imagine breaking your fast right in the middle of Trafalgar Square, or on the actual pitch at a Premier League stadium, or even inside the British Museum? It's pretty amazing. It's just like this quote says, Ramadan in Britain has really become this month of connection. You're literally breaking down barriers one meal at a time. It's community in action. You can actually see it happening. Okay, let's be real. You can't talk about Iftar without talking about the food. And in Britain, oh man, the food is on another level. The Iftar table is basically a map of the entire world, all on one plate. It's a perfect reflection of just how diverse Britain's Muslim communities are. I mean, just look at this spread. You've got your classic Pakistani samosas and pakoras. You have to have those. Then you've got amazing Indian biryani, some hearty Moroccan couscous, rich Arab mandi, and then, in the most perfect British twist, you might even find a halal steak. It's just an absolute feast. But with all this incredible food, there's one drink that has become this surprisingly iconic part of a British Ramadan. Any ideas? What do you think it is? It's Vimto. Yep, the classic British fruit drink. For so many British Muslim families, it's just not Iftar without it. It's this sweet, nostalgic taste that's become totally essential. It's kind of funny, right? How this everyday British drink has become such a huge part of this religious tradition. But this whole blend of cultures, it goes way beyond the food. At its core, Ramadan is about faith and reflection. And you can really see this mix of old and new in the community hubs, the mosques, and even in what people are wearing. So mosques in Britain aren't just quiet places for prayer. They are buzzing community centres. You've got places like the London Central Mosque, which is this huge multicultural heart of the community, or the East London Mosque, which is famous for all its charity work. And then there's the Cambridge Central Mosque, Europe's first eco-friendly mosque, which is just, wow, it's beautiful. And you see this blend in fashion too. On one side, you have beautiful traditional clothes, like the shalwar kameez or the juba, which are all about connecting with your heritage. But then you have this whole other movement, modest fashion. Modest fashion is a huge deal in the UK now. It's more than just clothes. It's a whole industry. And it's really being driven by a generation that wants to blend their faith with modern style. They're creating these amazing looks that feel contemporary, but also align with their beliefs. It's a way to express who they are, both their faith and their personal style. and it's created this really cool, unique British look. All right, so as the month of fasting and reflection starts to wrap up, everything begins to focus on two really important things: giving back and the huge celebration at the end called Eid al-Fitr. And when I say huge celebration, I mean it. Just look at this number: over 100,000 people. That's how many can gather in just one park in Birmingham for the morning Eid prayers. It's one of the biggest gatherings like it in all of Europe. Just incredible. So the celebration kicks off with these enormous prayers out in the open. After that, you've got massive citywide festivals, even in places like big shopping centers. And then, of course, comes the best part: getting together with family and friends for huge feasts that can go on for days. But before all that celebration, there's the spirit of giving. Charity is absolutely central to Ramadan. British Muslims are known for being incredibly generous, and you'll see huge campaigns on TV and even on the tube, raising millions and millions of pounds for people in need all over the world. So after that whole month of fasting, community, and charity, it all comes together with this one simple, happy greeting you'll hear everywhere: Eid Mubarak. It just means blessed feast. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? The story of Ramadan in Britain isn't just about a religious holiday. It's this living, evolving proof of what happens when cultures mix. It makes you wonder, when different cultures really meet, how do they change each other's most sacred traditions for the better? It's a pretty powerful question to end on.